Hello booktube, my name is Adrienne and welcome back to my channel. So it is the end of the month, which means that it is time for a wrap-up video. I read, at this moment, I have read 13 or 14 books this month. Hold on. 14 books. So far this month I have read 14 books and I'm currently in the middle of one more that I'm going to talk to you about right now that I think I will probably have finished before the month is over. I am obviously filming this video early. I'm filming this on the 30th, so there's one full day left in May, so I have a pretty decent chance of finishing another book today. I wanted to go ahead and get this video filmed because one of the books that I have to show you has to go back to the library today, so I wanted to go ahead and get this video filmed so that it could be in there. So let's just go ahead and start off this video with the one book that I'm currently in the middle of. That book is Listen to Your Heart by Casey West. I am currently about 100 pages into this book and I think I'll probably be able to finish it by the end of the day tomorrow. So if I did finish this during the month, there will be a star rating right below me. If I haven't finished this book, this clip might not be in the video. So there's that. This book is about a girl named Kate who takes a podcast class at her high school, and she is chosen to be one of the hosts for the podcast. She doesn't want the job, but she is chosen anyway. And this podcast is actually an advice podcast. One day during the podcast, somebody calls in who she believes to be a boy named Diego, who her best friend has a huge crush on. She thinks that the call is him asking for advice about a girl that he likes, and she is pretty sure that girl is her best friend. So she decides that she's going to try and make it her mission to get them together until she starts to realize that she might have feelings for Diego as well. So that is what this book is about. Like I said, I am currently about 100 pages into this, so I have no idea how the story is going to go. So I will link my GoodReads below and I will write a review for this. So if you're interested in more of my thoughts on this after I have finished it, just click on that link down below and you can read my thoughts. So that is the first book that I may or may not have finished this month. We're going to go ahead and go into the books that I do not have physical copies of to show you, because there are 4 of them. The first one that I finished this month was Love and Gelato, or I guess it wasn't the first time. The first of the books that I finished this month that I do not have physical copies of, that book is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this one. This book is about a girl whose mother dies of cancer, and as a result, she is sent to live with her father, who lives in Italy. Once she gets there, her mother has sent a journal over before she arrives that tells the story of her mother's time in Italy, as well as how she met her father. It is a really good story. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And so yeah, that was one of the books that I do not have a physical copy to show you. The next book is The Wedding Date. I'm not sure who this is by, but I'll have the title on the screen so you can see it. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars as well. This book is about a man and a woman who meet in an elevator, and that same day he asks her to be his date to a wedding, and it's the story of that date as well as them forming a relationship afterwards. It was a very cute, very sweet story. Definitely enjoyed that one as well. Another book I have to tell you about that I do not have to show you is Dirty by Kylie Scott. This is a adult romance novel. This is about a girl who ends up a runaway bride on her wedding day and ends up in the house of a former band member. And this is the story of them forming a relationship. It is an adult romance novel. There is lots and lots of very graphic adult content. But I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I liked it overall. It was a pretty good story. And the other book I read this month that I do not have to show you is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars as well. I can't really tell you much about what this book is about because it is the 4th book in a series. It is a very short book. It's more of a novella than it is an actual story, like full novel, and it's mostly fluff. There was really not a whole lot of point to the story other than to bridge it into the next books that come in the series, because I know the next books will be centered around different characters, and so I think this story was really just meant to be a happy a happy story that bridges the gap between the two. And because of that, there wasn't a lot of content to it. There wasn't a lot of like meat to the story, if you can, I guess you could say. So I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it for what it was, but it was not like the best thing I've ever read. So that is it for the digital books that I read this month. So now let's just go ahead and get into all of the physical books. These ones I'm going to be telling you about in order from my lowest rating to my highest rating. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So the first book that I had to tell you about is 99 Days by Katie Cotigno. This I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Did not really enjoy this book at all. This is the sequel to 99 Days, which you will see here in a second. So I can't really tell you much about this book. This book, like I said, is a sequel, and this takes place with the main character as she is traveling abroad in England. And so yeah, this I didn't super enjoy. I just didn't care for it, so I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. And that's all I really have to say about this book. And then, like I said, you would see 99 Days on this list, also by Katie Cotigno. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed this book for what it was. It involves a love triangle and siblings, and it was very messy, but I did like it. I will say that there is a character in this book that I hate with a passion. I hate him. And he's just no good to me, and every scene in this book just infuriated me. And so as a result of that, that is why I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And the first time I read, this was a reread for me. The first time I read it, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I don't know why, because surely I must have thought this guy was just as annoying the first time, but I docked an entire star just because he was that frustrating and that annoying. So yeah, gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. Moving on to 4-star books, I have Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Juliet Pages and Pens, who I will link in the cards. I think they're over here, not sure. But I will link her in the cards. And so she did a buddy read for this book this month, and I read it along with the buddy read, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I don't know what it was about this book that just wasn't a 5-star read for me. There was nothing wrong with this book. It was really good. I really enjoyed the story, but it just was not a 5-star book for me, no matter how much I wanted it to be a 5-star book. It just wasn't. So yeah, this book, I don't really want to tell you too much about it, because not going into it not knowing anything did make it a little more enjoyable for me. But the gist is that there is a city who, through some sort of magic, has been erased from the minds of everyone, and they only now know the name of the city as Weep. And this story follows Laszlo Strange as he looks into the city and tries to discover what happened to it. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to love this book. I wanted to give it 5 out of 5 stars, and I just couldn't. It wasn't a 5-star book for me. It was a 4 out of 5-star book for me. Up next in the 4-star category, we have From Twinkle with Love by Sandia Menon. Like I said, gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it, but it was just, it was very cute. It was very sweet. It was very fluffy. The main character, Twinkle, is very naive, which is why I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, because she was just frustrating a lot of the time, and so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. This book is about Twinkle, who wants to be a film director someday, and so she is given the opportunity to partner with the boy who is her crush's twin brother to make a movie for a local film festival, and through that she starts to have some feelings for the brother, and so it was very cute. I really loved this story. It was adorable, but I just was frustrated with Twinkle a lot of the time, and so I docked a star for that. So 4 out of 5 stars. It's a very cute book. Also in the 4 out of 5 star categories is Going Places by Catherine Barella. This is a book that I knew nothing about when I got it, other than the fact that the main character decides he wants to be homeschooled, which is correct. He does want to be homeschooled. And so this was a book I picked up knowing nothing about other than that fact, and it really, really surprised me. I really liked it. This book is about a boy named Hudson who decides that he wants to be homeschooled for his senior year of high school, and his mom agrees to it. he runs some small businesses during the summer, or during the school year, and through that he meets a World War II veteran who is seeing a girl in a window and this book is him trying to discover the mystery as well as having a first love. And yeah, that's basically the story, and it completely blew me away. I was not expecting the ending. It completely shocked me, and I really enjoyed this a lot. So I would definitely say pick this book up because I have heard no one on BookTube talk about it, and it was so good. Yeah, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because I was frustrated with the main character Hudson at times. But I mean, he's a teenage boy who's kind of discovering life and all it has to offer, and as a result of that, he was just frustrating. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but I really, really love this book. Now we move into 4.5 star books, and the first one I have is Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. This is written by the same author who wrote Alex Approximately, which was one of my favorite books I read last year. And this one I also loved, just not quite as much as Alex Approximately, which is why I got 4.5 out of 5 stars instead of a full 5. This book is about a girl, I believe her name is Zori. Yeah, Zori. And she is really into astronomy, and so she ends up going glamping with a group of people who she is not like very much, and through a series of horrible events ends up stranded in the woods with a boy who is her worst enemy, or who she considers to be her worst enemy. And it's them hiking through the wilderness trying to get back to civilization, and the ride that happens to that. So I really did enjoy it. It was very sweet, very cute. It was very interesting to have all of the backstory to it, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, it wasn't a full 5 stars, but it was 4.5 out of 5 stars. Up next, we have another 4.5 out of 5 star book, and that was Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I feel like it probably needs to be a 5-star book for me because I loved everything about this book. I just really love this book, and I really don't know why I didn't give it 5 stars. Like, I cannot think of a single thing that made me give this book half a star less than 5 stars. And so I feel like I need to bump this up to a 5-star. But this book is about a girl named Amelia. This book is about a girl named Amelia who works every summer in an ice cream shop. And this shop has always been run and operated by girls. And the owner of the ice cream shop, something happens, and as a result, her grandnephew comes in and takes over running the business. And it is the relationship of this girl with her friends and understanding this business and her senior year and what she wants to do with her life. And I just loved this book so much. And it's interesting too because you have like journal entries. I have this cover upside down. Oops, let me fix that. In this book, you don't just get to know the main character, Amelia, you also get to know the woman who originally started this ice cream shop through journal entries. And it was really interesting to be able to see her perspective and what she went through growing up as well. And so I definitely enjoyed this book. So I think I'm changing my rating. I think I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5 stars instead of a 4.5. Okay, so I have to film the last part of this video very quickly because my daughter just woke up from her nap and my camera battery is dying. So the last 3 books that I have in this wrap up are all 3 in a series, so it works out great, and they were all 5 out of 5 star books. And that would be the Illuminae trilogy. I loved each and every one of these books. They are all 3 5-star reads for me. Each one follows a different set of characters throughout the story, and so I reread the first 2 books, Illuminae and Gemina, and then read Obsidio for the first time. They're sci-fi books. I don't really want to tell you too much about them, but they were really interesting, and they're told in a really interesting format of, you know, chat rooms, dossiers, emails, you know, different kinds of things. And so they're really an interesting format to read through, and I really loved them. So they were all 5 out of 5 star reads for me. Yeah, And so those were the last 3 books that I read this month, and they were all 5 out of 5 star books. So that is all that I have for this video today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what books I read, and I would love to know what books you guys read this month and what your thoughts were. And if you have read any of these books, let me know down below. I would love to talk with you about them. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in more of my content, I post videos on Monday and Friday, so come back and check me out on those days, or you can push subscribe down below and I will pop up in your subscription feed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.